Hi guys, wanted to take you on a little tour of the garden so far. As you can see from this shot, daisies have kind of gone crazy this year. I'm not stooping over at all. Those things are like up to my chin, some of them. Here you can see the daylilies haven't really opened up yet. They're going to bloom soon. In here is a little piece of garden that Woody and I dug out in the autumn. You can see a couple cucumber plants growing really nicely. In the middle is a pepper plant. I think I'm growing serrano peppers there. They look like there's actually a couple in there already that I can pick. And these beautiful bluish plants that look like they've been eaten by the rabbits are my kale that have been eaten by the rabbits a lot. And but I did manage to rescue a couple. I'll show those to you in a minute. So over here on this side you can see one of our pear trees, very young pear tree. Hopefully it will take off. And there's kind of a guild growing around it. You can see plants like this one, and if I can get my shadow out of the way, they're constantly being eaten by the rabbits. And here's another one eaten by bunnies. But behind there is dill, which I just replanted, and there's a really healthy tomato plant, one that's not doing too well for some reason, and one that's doing really well. I think that the one behind it just isn't getting enough sun. This is called comfrey, and according to the book that I'm following, I needed to plant that and this, which is fennel. And let's see, over here we have yarrow, which we were told to plant as part of this guild. And then back here, a couple more tomato bushes, which are doing pretty well, even though they're behind this tree, which is really small and wimpy and pathetic. Another comfrey plant, yarrow. And then even back here, look what happened over by the fence. Had all kinds of things going on over here. All kinds of stuff is growing, just letting it go. All kinds of wildflowers and daisies, and that's mint. Let's see, this is astilbes. I don't know if you can see them. This is some dill that I just replanted. Here's a plant that the rabbits refuse to stop eating. And then over here, next to this tomato bush, I planted some more bee balm. That stuff that attracts all the bees, because I thought it would be nice. By the way, we have tons of bees right now because of all the flowers. And this is a lot of wild mint growing. Charlie, mucho mojitos from this stuff, baby. And just some plants that are growing back here. So I put the bird bath back here by the fence, which seems to be a really great place for it. The robins seem to have a club. They like splash around in it all the time. And then this is kind of just a wild area in the back here, over by our neighbor's house. They got a dog, obviously, a little white fluffy thing named Princess. And just some pretty little plants back here, all kinds of wild stuff, plus some things that, here's a comfrey plant, and here's our other pear tree. Now I'm not sure if these pear trees are doing so good. They look okay, but they don't seem to be growing. So today I added some compost around the outside. Charlie, I want to show you my compost, which I keep back here now. And I'm going to turn it over for you and get a good close-up for you. Wait till you see what it looks like. So we got a lot of little worms in the compost. Let's see if I can dig around for you a bit. They really, the birds go nuts when I do this. Oh, let's see. If you can see it. Let's get some of the little wormies out here. Everything's kind of moving around in there. So you'd like to see all my little worms. Let's put this back. There's lots of them. They're just all over the place. Anyway, compost. So this is a little vegetable patch. These are my lettuces. Growing really nicely. More kale, which I rescued, put in here. Growing pretty well. Next to this bee balm, which attracts a lot of bees. And there's some tomato bushes. Back there is Brussels sprouts. Here you can see this tomato bush. Tomatoes are starting to grow. If I can get this in there. You see everything starting to come out. Pretty early. Some more cucumbers over in the vegetable patch. My beautiful chicken wire. Doing really well though. Everything's growing great. And then of course here's the garden you remember Dad planted with all these like plants that turn purple. I've been really cultivating things, so there's like lots of beautiful flowers growing now. Somebody gave me all these coleus plants. And then back around this side to my rabbit-ridden stuff. Just thought you'd like to see this. It really looks beautiful right now. Of course, the stuff isn't really edible, and I don't know how the camera's doing, but you can see there's tons and tons of bees. I've been stung by just about everything that's flying around here, I think. I think I've become immune to it. Just one last film. On this side of the house, I'm growing a lot of herbs. Nothing too exciting or hallucinatory. This is rosemary. The first one was sage. This is basil, parsley, cilantro, and over here in the shade right now, it's thyme. Got lots of herbs to cook with. It's great. A quick overview of the garden. So Charlie, you can show your people from Paraguay. How come we don't have a hammock? Because we don't have any trees in our yard. Although I did plant 2 pear trees. So maybe soon. Maybe, I don't know, in a few years.